Priority regulations. The traffic is managed by rules and regulations. Priority regulations clarify when road users meet and cross each other's path, which of these road users may proceed ahead of others. This improves safety and the movement on the road. For example, when you approach a junction, you have to know to whom you should give right of way and from which driver or pedestrian you get right of way. Priority is regulated by signals given by authorized person, traffic lights, signs and road markings, general rules of behavior give right of way. These regulations have a clear hierarchy, and the road users are required to comply accordingly. You can see the hierarchy as it is written here. This means signals given by authorized person take precedence over traffic lights. For instance, when you approach a junction regulated by traffic light and the traffic light is green, but an authorized person give you signals to stop, you have to stop because signals given by authorized person has precedence over traffic lights. Traffic lights take precedence over traffic signs and road markings. This means priority is regulated by traffic lights, and boards and signs are no longer determine the priority. Traffic lights regulate the priority on that moment. In absence of authorized persons, traffic lights, signs and road markings regulate priority. This means signs and road markings take precedence over general rules of behavior. Finally, when there is no authorized persons, no traffic lights, and no signs and road markings, general rule of behavior regulate priority on the roads. Give right of way. This means right goes before left, continuing straight on the same road goes before turning off, and short turn goes before long turn. As mentioned before, authorized persons can give signals in order to manage the traffic. The road users are required to follow their instruction given verbally or by means of gesture. These authorized persons are members of the police force, traffic controllers, officers, wardens. Wardens are public officials who are responsible for the enforcement of certain regulations. Member of the Royal Marechaussee, that is border police, military police, customs officers, inspectors of the Ministry of the Infrastructure and Environment, and the school crossing patrol. Authorized person can give signal verbally and by means of gesture. When they give stop signal, the road users should stop in such way that the passage for crossing traffic is not blocked. In this picture we see different gesture. The gesture in the first picture means general stop signals. This is a stop signal for all road users, no matter from which side they are approaching the crossing point. The gesture in the second picture means stop signal for traffic approaching from the front. When you are approaching a crossing point and when the face of authorized person is toward your side and you see that his left hand is raised, this means you have to stop. The gesture in the third picture means the stop signal for the traffic approaching the authorized person from behind. When you approach the authorized person in the crossing point and you see his right hand is raised, this means you have to stop. The fourth picture, where you can see the authorized person raise his both hands, this means the traffic approaching him from front side and from behind should stop. The fifth picture means a stop signal for the traffic approaching from the right side. This picture means reducing the speed. The gesture in this picture also means stopping. The gesture in the last picture means stop signal for the traffic approaching him in the yacht moving direction and get ready to go for traffic in the stop direction and clear the junction for those still crossing. Traffic lights. The purpose of traffic lights is to regulate the priority in the traffic in a safe manner, where the road users intercept each other. Traffic lights can have three colors: red, yellow, and green. As most of you already know, red means stop and wait at the stop line. Yellow also means stop unless you have already crossed the line or you are so close to it that stopping might cause an accident. This means if you can stop in a safe manner, you should stop. Otherwise, you can proceed. Green means go ahead if the way is clear. This means when you are in a junction and traffic light turns to green, and if you proceed, you might block the crossing point. In that case, you don't have to proceed. But if the junction is clear and you do not proceed ahead, it is a violation. Traffic lights are divided in two categories: full traffic lights and filter traffic lights. In the Netherlands, you have different types of traffic lights. Traffic lights at level crossing. EKI, in Dutch automatische knipperlichtinstallatie. In English, automated flashing lights. And AHOB. As it is shown in this picture, you can find these two types of traffic lights at level crossing. Level crossing means the road crosses railway lines. The AKI level crossings are without any physical protection or without any barriers or gates. As you can see in this picture, there is no gate. When a train approaches, two red lights start to flash and you have to stop. Above the two red lights, you have a single white light. When the white light starts to flash, this means there is no train approaching and it is safe to cross. AHOB level crossing has also a gate. In addition to traffic lights, at AHOB level crossing, when a train approaches, the lights start to flash and the gates come down. When the lights start to flash, you are not allowed to cross the junction. You can find AKI level crossing in the rural areas where the roads are not crowded, and you can find AHOB level crossing generally in the cities where the roads are more crowded. If you stop at a level crossing and your wait is likely to be more than a minute, consider switching off your engine as this can save fuel and cut down on pollution. At a level crossing with barrier, you must wait as long as the flashing red lights are on, even when the barrier go up. Never drive onto the crossing unless the road is clear on the other side. Suppose you are at this side of the level crossing and the vehicles in front of you are just past the railway lines and there is no space for you to proceed, and if you proceed you might be on the railway lines. In this case you should not cross even though the light is white. The same applies for this level crossing. It's also important that you should not park your vehicle close to level crossing. Single yellow flashing light. A single yellow flashing light warns you of a dangerous situation ahead, where extra caution and reduced speed will be required. These lights can be part of a traffic light installation which is switched off or out of order. These yellow lights can also show an arrow or a symbol. As you can see, this yellow flashing light is placed before a bend. This flashing light warns you of a dangerous situation ahead, and it is recommended that you should drive with reduced speed. In some junctions, the priority for cyclists and pedestrians is regulated by traffic lights. In a junction where the priority for pedestrians is regulated by traffic lights and crossing point or zebra path, the traffic light has precedence over crossing point. Cyclists and pedestrians can cross the road only if the traffic light is green, and if it is red, they are not allowed to cross the road. Some of these traffic installations are automated, and some you have to operate by pushing on the button. As you can see, it is showing on the picture for cyclists, and here it is showing for pedestrian. If they have the intention to cross the junction, they have to push on the button. Traffic lights for buses and trams. Some traffic lights only applies to buses and trams. This is called the box with 9 eyes. 2 red lights means stop. 2 white lights in vertical go ahead in direction shown, in this case straight. These 2 flashing lights go ahead to the left. This indicates go ahead to the right. This indicates go ahead in directions shown, in this case straight and right. And the last lights stop if reasonably and safely possible. When stopping is not possible or safe, then drive on and expedite clearing the junction or crossing. This is similar to yellow traffic light. If you can stop safely, stop. Otherwise, you can proceed.